Welcome back. We go straight to our mesh tab. Now, the first tool we have on the mesh tab is smooth objects. Now you can use this to produce smooth meshing on an object, but the object must be drawn with a 3D primitive shape. That is, you are to use any of these primitive shapes to draw the object. You cannot draw a 2D profile and use a 3D command such as extrude or sweep to act on it, and then you smoothing it up. No, it will not work. You need to draw with a 3D primitive shape. Take for example box. Now let me take a box of 5000 by 3000 by 900, 5000, 3000, 900. Now I can smoothen this object. If I tap on it and I enter, you see it will mesh it up, smoothing it. That is, it will remove all the 90-degree edges and smoothing them up. Okay, you can also smoothen the mesh further. Click on this, select the object and enter. Good, so it will smoothen it more. Then you can smooth less. Click on smooth less, select the object and enter to smoothen it less. Then you can also mesh, you can also refine the mesh. It will make the mesh to be the spaces between the meshed lines to be more smaller. So I select the object and I tap on enter. So that's what you have. So that is how the mesh tool work. You just pick the tool, select the object and tap enter. But the object must be drawn with a 3D primitive shape. Now very quickly, the next tool we're having here, we're going into the solid editing tab. And the very first tool here is solid union. We also have solid subtract, and then we have solid intersect. Now what solid union does is that it combines two objects together, and solid subtract will remove the excessive part of one of the object, while solid intersect will bring out their common parts. So to do that, let's take this as an example. We can have a bus like this of 5000, 3000, 1000. Enter. Okay. Then we can copy. Let's assume we copy it from this place and drop it here like this, and then let's copy this into 3 places and see how our tool will operate on it. So this is my first copy, then of course this is my second copy. Now let's start with solid union. I pick on it, select the two objects in turns, and then I tap enter. You can see what has happened here. It has removed this excessive part at the middle where they join together, and it has created a singular 3D solid shape. Okay, then very quickly let's go to the next tool, solid subtract. If you click this one first and click this one second, solid subtract will remove this excessive part and this part here. let's just see how it works. So I click this first, I enter, then I click this second and I enter. So that is it. Chops off all the excessive parts. So this is what we have for solid subtract. Then of course you have the last one, which is solid intersect. So I click on solid intersect and I click on this and I click on this and I tap enter. So the common part at which they intersect, that is what will come out. So that is how those three-dimensional modeling tools work. So very quickly, our next tool is SolidInterference. Now, SolidInterference. Now, what this does is that it creates a new object at the point where two three-dimensional solid interfere each other or goes into each other. Let's say, for example, we have this. Let me just quickly create something like this, and very quickly let me fix up a circle here, and then let me sweep this. Conceptual wireframe. If I have this, then let me click on interfere. It will ask me to select first set of objects. This is the first set. I tap on enter. Select second set of objects. I tap on this and I tap on that. So you uncheck this delete interference objects created on close. If you don't uncheck this, if you close it, it will delete the new objects created at the point of interference. So you have to uncheck it so that it will leave the objects created at the point of interference. So these are the objects created at the point of interference. Can you see this? These objects were not there before. So you can actually delete all of these, and those objects created at the point of interference will remain. So these are the objects created at the point of interference. It will create new objects at the point of interference, and these are the objects we have. So that is how SolidInterference works. Now very quickly we go on to the next tool, which is SolidSlice. Now what does SolidSlice do? SolidSlice is used to cut an object in two. For example, we have this like this. We can use SolidSlice to cut this object in two. So I pick on slice. It asks me to select the object I want to slice. I select this object, I enter. It will now ask me to specify starting point of slice. Okay, specify here as my starting point. Ask me to specify second point. Specify here as my second point. It will then second point. It will then ask me to specify the third point, and then I specify here as my last point, and then I enter. And that is it. This object has been sliced. You can actually now drag this off. You see? So I've sliced this object in two. So that is how the SolidSlice works. So very quickly, let's move on to the next tool. It's a series of two, starting with extract edges. Now what does extract edges do? Now we have this three-dimensional solid. All of these edges are all together. You cannot get this line out or get this line out or get this line out. They are all together. But if we use this tool, extract edges, to act on it, we can then bring out all of these edges. That is to say, we can bring out this edge while the original one is still remaining here. Look at what is happening now. When you do this, all you get is the three-dimensional solid going along with you. But when you now come to extract edges and select it asks you to select object. Select this object and then tap enter. Watch what will happen now. You can now extract this edge out. Can you see this? This edge can then be copied. Any edge can be copied out, but the original will still be there. You cannot copy out all of these edges. This is what extract edge does. Now, very quickly, the next tool is imprint. Now, what does imprint do? Imprint helps to fix up a two-dimensional object here, and when you fix up a two-dimensional object in this face, imprint will help you to attach it to the 3D solid so that it will now be inside it. It will now be one with the 3D solid, so that when you select the 3D solid, the two-dimensional object will also be selected. This is what I'm talking. If I take a circle and place the circle here, now if I select this three-dimensional object, the circle will not be selected. Can you see that? Let me select it from another point. Can you see that? The circle is not selected, but the entire three-dimensional object is selected. But we can use imprint now to imprint this circle on this face, so that when you select this three-dimensional object, the circle will also be selected. So I click on imprint. It asks me to select 3D solid. This is my 3D solid. Then select the object to imprint. This is the object I want to imprint, and then I tap on enter. So that is it. The object has been imprinted. Now if I come and select the 3D solid, can you see now the circle is also selected along with it? So I've imprinted this circle in this 3D face, and the circle is now together with the 3D, so that when you select the 3D solid, the circle will also be selected. Now you can't take out the circle on its own. The circle has been imprinted on that surface. Can you see this? The circle is now there. When you take out the circle can come out, but the original copy of the circle is still there. Good. So this is the earlier circle we put that has been taken out. A copy of it has been imprinted in this face. That's why you are seeing this circle here. There is no way that this circle can be taken out again, because a copy of it has been imprinted. If you want to take it out, then you now have to use another command to take it out completely. Now the next tool is color edge. What does color edge do? It is used to color an edge. Select edge. I select this edge and then I enter. So my color toolbar comes out and I choose the color I want and I say okay. So I've colored that edge. I've colored that edge using that tool. Now let me also do another one again. Color edges. I pick on that. Let me pick on that. I enter. So I say okay. So the circle has been selected, the circle has been colored and all of that. So very quickly I go on to the next tool, which is copy edges. Now what does copy edges do? With this copy edges tool, you can copy any of this edge. Normally you can't copy just this edge out, but with the copy edges tool we can copy that edge out. So I click on it, I click on copy edges, I select the edge to copy, I enter, I choose a base point, I take my hand to the direction I want it to go, and then I type 800. I want to copy it to a distance of 800. and then I say enter. So that's it. I've copied. This is the edge, is on its own. I've actually succeeded in copying this edge to this point, and this is it. So thank you very much for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video when we start from this tool here, extrude faces.